discuss office equipment as the topic we have in this third term scheme of work. So having known that, this time we have to look at store records. The topic we have for today is store record. By the end of this topic, you'll be able to explain the meaning of store and store record. You mention the and describe the documents used in the store department. Then you have to also explain the meaning and the meaning of stock and stock taking. Then you have to also have an idea of the types of stock taking and importance of stock taking. Then the procedure for stock procurement. These are the things you will know at the end of this topic. So let's start with the meaning of store and then store record. What is store? Store is a room where finished goods, raw materials, and semi-finished goods. You have an idea of all these: finished goods, raw materials, and semi-finished goods. I have explained them before last time. Where they are kept for future use. Then, store records are those documents used by an organization to record its stock data so as to determine the position of its stock at any point in time. They have a document which is called store record card, where they record all the documents in their stock, so that when they remove, they know the one they have removed and the one that are still remaining. So having said this, we have to look at the documents used in the store. That is type of store record. One, we have stock record card. Stock record card. In this stock record card, please examine this. This is how the document looks like. The items it must contain the business name. Business name is the name which the business is known with. It must be printed in the stock record card. Then, this is used to record the quantity of goods supplied, how the goods were issued out to other departments, the quantity and the balance of stock in the store room. All these are contained in the stock record card. Anyone the stock card removed, you must record it, or the one that comes in, it must be recorded in the stock record card. It also provides other detailed information, such as dates. All it must be there. Date, detailed information such as date the goods were supplied, the name of the supplier, the requisition number, maximum quantity of stock that the firm can stock. That is the maximum quantity which the firm must stock in their warehouse. Then the minimum stock is the lowest number which once the stock they keep in their warehouse come down to this minimum stock, they will place another order to avoid stock out. So another one we have to look into, another document we use in the store is stock requisition form. Stock requisition form. This is a stock record used to demand for goods to be supplied from the organization storeroom. An employee or department that requires goods from the store has to fill this form. He has to fill this form describing the goods and the quantity the officer needed or the department needed. They must fill this requisition form. And this has to be authorized by officer in charge, that is the officer that is responsible, must authorize it for suppliers and send to stock room. Once they fill it, assuming it's admin department that needs items, they have to fill it. Then the authority there must authorize and then send it to the store clerk, who will now bring out those things they need. And before you bring this out, it must record it in the stock record card. So when the store clerk have looked at the completed form, and once he's satisfied with what they need, they filled in the form, the store clerk will now issue the items and record those things he issued out in the store record card. Then another document is purchase requisition form, which must also contain the name of the business. Then this purchase requisition form is a form used by the store clerk in the store department to make a request for the purchase of goods to the purchasing department. Once the stock in the storeroom is getting to the minimum stock, that minimum number, the store clerk will raise this purchase requisition form and send it to the purchasing department for them to place an order for another supply of the particular item. So this form is used by the store clerk in the store department to make a request for the purchase of goods to the purchasing department. This happens when the stock in the store fall down to a minimum level, that is, a level at which a new order of goods should be placed to avoid stock out. I have explained that before. So to avoid stock out is when the stock has finished total, that is, nothing remains for them. To avoid it, because it will disturb the business, to avoid it, once you reach to the minimum stock level, they will place another order. So the stock clerk will raise this purchase request form by filling all this and give to the purchasing department to place the order. Then purchase requisition form, which we have looked into, is the one that the purchasing department will now use it to place order to the supplier to supply the goods for the organization. Then another document we have there is delivery note or gate pass. It will also contain the name of the business. This document allows passage at the security gate. It enables the security department to check the authorized quantity of goods to be carried out of the organization through the gate. The number, the quantity that will be carried out from the organization through the gate, they will check it at the gate. It is prepared in 4 copies. The first copy goes to the recipient of the goods. Then the second is returned in the store. The third copy goes to the security department, and the fourth one is returned in the booklet. This is typical example of the delivery note or gate pass. It must contain these items. Having said this, we go to the meaning of stock taking. Stock taking. It is sometimes referred to as stock check or inventory. Stock check or inventory. It is a physical check of the stock of the business. Physical check, seeing them one by one, counting them, so that the actual stock in the warehouse or storeroom is known. They will count it and know the number, exact quantity they still have. This actual quantity of the stock can be checked against the balance in the stock record card. The physical counting, they will check it with what they have in their stock record card to know whether it rhymed. This is used to check the accuracy of the stock card. Whereby they have any discrepancies, they have to investigate it. Then, we have types of stock taking. There are three main types of stock taking. One is periodic stock taking. This involves a physical counting of items at regular intervals, like monthly, quarterly. Quarterly is for 3 months, because the months we have in a year is 12 months. Divide it into 3 months. We call it quarterly. Or half year, that is 6 months. The result is checked with the stock shown in the stock card, and any differences is investigated. The damage of slow-moving stock is discovered during the process of stock taking, and once it's discovered, it's brought to the notice of the business. So this periodic stock taking, or even other types, are used to check the honesty of the stock clerk, to know whether the storekeeper is honest enough to handle the items in the organization. Then the second one, perpetual inventory. This is a surprise check of the storeroom by the specialist under the direction of an accountant. They don't need to inform the stock clerk before the check. The stock clerk is never informed before the check is done. Through random selection, they do it through random selection of items to be checked on every day. They will just come and pick those items without paying notice to the stock clerk. It is done throughout the year at interval. They don't plan with the store clerk when they will come for the supervision. They just come at surprise time to check it. It's not planned. Then the last one is annual stock taking. Annual stock taking is usually done at the end of the financial year, which also represents the end of trading period. We have done our final account, trading profit and loss account. You remember what I told you there? Trading account makes use of closing stock and opening stock. So this annual stock taking, at the end of financial year, represents the end of the trading year. This annual stock taking is usually done at that time. It helps to know the value of stock available as it will be included in the final account, as I said. Having said this, we have to look at the importance of stock taking. Importance of stock taking are: 1. The stock taking helps to prevent fraud in the stock. I've told you that it is used to check the honesty of the storekeeper and so on. Or even missing stock can be detected during stock taking. Damaged and slow-moving goods are easily discovered during stock taking. Those goods that are not sellable can be discovered during stock taking. Then the organization will plan on how to handle them, either to stop production of those ones. Then it helps the business to know its stock strength at any point in time, and also help to know when a particular stock is exhausted, when a particular stock has finished. They will know. They will notice it during stock taking. Then, knowing the stock strength, we have to avoid over or under-ordering. Under-ordering is when they ordered something that the quantity that will not be enough, or over when they order the large quantity more than they need. Another one is that it helps the production department to know what to produce, when to produce, and the quantity to produce. Then, stock taking helps the business to know if the business is making profit or not. It helps them. Once they do the stock picking, they will know whether they are making profit or not. Then the turnover of the business is also determined by the stock taking. We have treated turnover. So remember what we did that time. It also enables the company to know obsolete stock, that is stock that are outdated and therefore no longer sellable or expired ones. It helps them. Then the last thing we have to look into is the procedure for stock procurement. Procedure. How do we place order? Procedure for stock procurement starts with a request for item to be purchased is made through the stock clerk in the store. The officer in the store will make the request, who completes a request form giving details of what to be purchased and the quantity. The first copy is sent to the purchase department, while the duplicate copy is returned in the store. The second procedure is that on receipt, that is when the purchase department receives it, they go straight through its record of suppliers. You go to the document where they keep the names of suppliers and then find out the supplier that has what to be purchased. From their quotations, the supplier that has good price for the required stock is chosen. Where no existing supplier has the required stock, a new suppliers are contacted for quotations. Then the third procedure is, after comparing all quotations, the purchase department places order from the supplier that has the best price for good quality of goods and good time of delivery. Then, when the goods are supplied, the purchase department checks the goods against the purchase order form to ensure that they agreed. If they agreed, this department prepares and signs the goods received note, and the inspection note. They must sign it. Then, after that, an acknowledgement of receipt is given to the supplier that they acknowledge the goods. Then, a payment voucher is raised, approved, and the supplier is paid. After the payment, the receiving unit, that is the store or warehouse where they keep those items, the receiving unit then send the goods to the storeroom that is responsible for issuing the goods to the department or person that needs them. So these are the procedures or procedure for stock procurement. Ordering of stock and receiving it, keeping it in the warehouse before they issue it to the department or officers that need those items. I have to end here for this topic, and then you have to go back to it, read it severally, so that when you come back, you'll be familiar with all these documents. When we come back, we will still do more work on it. So please, take your studies serious and then work harder for the coming exam, which we will take when we come back. Thank you and remain blessed.